Hello Taurus, and welcome to my channel Green Line Goddess Tarot. This is your weekly reading and we are moving into eclipse season and you guys are going to be one of the major players. So we're moving into Scorpio season, your opposite sign. It's going to be you're going to feel the intensity moving into this. We have the new moon this week coming in on the 25th of October. This is going to be a partial solar eclipse. So yep, eclipses bring in changes. It's a south node eclipse, so it's around old karma, karmic release, things that you've already learnt and could be connecting you to your gifts. So, but what I get for you guys, and then in a couple of weeks' time, we're going to have the full moon in your sign, and that's going to be a total lunar eclipse. So, yeah, these eclipses you've been working with all year, they're activating at certain points and there's a lot going on, lots of big changes coming through. But what I get for you when I was tuning in was this sense of a visionary energy of the future, that you're gathering in force, this sense of moving forward into a new cycle of the future, which feels like there's this gathering power to that, which is coming through, which is fascinating. So, I mean, this new moon is fascinating. It's got Venus conjunct the new moon, and Venus is uncomfortable because she's in a Mars-ruled sign. And she's your ruler. She's your ruler, Taurus. So she's like, what am I doing here? I like being in Taurus, not in Scorpio. And so she's just going, okay, well, now I have to work with a different situation, a different set of parameters. I'm feeling a little bit uncomfortable. Venus rules love. She rules resources. She rules your self-value, sensuality, creativity, the arts. So it's a sense of she's suddenly finding herself in this shadowy place, a dark moon because it's a new moon. It's ruled by Mars and Pluto. So, she's not that comfortable with Mars. Pluto's the lord of the underworld, the shadow, and she's like, okay, well, I'm looking at doing some shadow work while I'm here. And when it comes to doing with all the things that she represents, but particularly with love and relationships and resources, money, all those sort of things that so well. She works so differently with you guys in a tangible way. This is a bit more of an intangible way where she wants to go deep into psychology or deep into some emotions and look at some deep truths. And yeah, it's not comfortable, but there's the potential, because it's the start of the Scorpio cycle, to transform that and to transform something by setting up a new cycle. And so because the North Node is in your sign, it's the energy that you're moving towards at this moment in time, and it's very karmically related and fated. I feel like you're just like, okay, I'm going to use this as a platform, as a catalyst to kind of move forward and find that visionary energy. The thing that comes through, we have the Hierophant. Look at this. This is you coming in super strong. So this is Taurus, the card of Taurus. So that's why I feel like you're reclaiming some kind of power with this energy and going, I'm not going to necessarily be influenced totally by it. I'm going to bring forward my positivity and not be dragged too far down into this deep Scorpio energy. Yes, we'll work with it. Venus is going to have to deal with looking at power, how she's been standing in her power, how much control she's got over her love, her body, her creativity, and looking at those sort of things that are coming through money. But this Hierophant energy is the Taurus energy of commitment, of higher belief systems. It's the card of religion and philosophy. So it's the card of Taurus, and it just very much is this sense of some simple beliefs could be questioned, but it's almost a sense of also just staying with your power while you're going through this process of there is still going to be that necessary of Venus going through the shadow and the underworld, but you're going to do it in a way that you're going to feel powerful. So let's look at this. Let's look at the higher potentials that are coming through for you, Taurus. With this, the higher potentials of this energy. What are the higher potentials of this energy? And we're just really focusing in on the eclipse energy because it's really going to be such an influential energy throughout the week. So let's see the higher potentials for Taurus. What is coming through for Taurus? Okay. Ooh, we love it. Dancing with wolves. Love. Choice and trust. Look at those beautiful wolves just dancing, like running together. So, yeah, I love this card actually. It is all about the higher potentials is to make a really good choice around trust and love and relationships. So, yeah, it's potentially, it could be something unspoken, but it feels like this is your higher self talking to you here. Making a choice around love is what's coming in as a higher potential. So, yeah, and it definitely will highlight the trust within a commitment. The Hierophant can represent marriage as well, like a long-term relationship or commitment that comes through with that. So let's look at what's happening in the shadow side for you, Taurus. Let's look at what's happening for the shadow side. Now, you don't have to be married or in a long-term relationship for this reading to kind of still be relevant, because it's just about love and relationships in general, how you're making choices in love and relationships. How is it affecting? You might not really be into marriage. You might be into marriage, but that's your choice, and that's what and maybe you choose to be single. Maybe you want to get married. You know, it is looking at that. And there is this sense of really trusting the choices that you're making around your relationship status as well. So let's see what's happening in the underworld, the shadow for Venus. Okay, we've got the Temperance energy. What sort of energy she's working with? This is all to do with balance. Restoring balance, looking at where something's been potentially out of balance in your life and wanting to restore it, where two elements have not been working or two things have not necessarily been working, or you and somebody else has not been on the same page, or maybe it's, you know, it's got a lot to do with independence and your own space versus like combining your energy with somebody else. So for those of you who are single, maybe you are thinking you would like to be with somebody, but maybe you're not. Maybe you're not. But if you're in a relationship, maybe you're wanting more independence to come through. But the balance of the Temperance energy is patience and seeing that something is shifting and changing form, but it's slow. And it's about also calmness, remaining calm within a situation. So whether that has been something that's been useful for you or something you've been able to do or not, there is this sense of patience and calmness that's come with this. And so I think ultimately, with this, all this energy around love and marriage and whether this is right for you or long-term relationships and all of this sort of stuff, it really is like, deep down, what is it that you truly desire? What is it that you truly desire? What is aligned to you when it comes to love and relationships? How do you work with trust within relationships? And how do you restore balance if balance has been out of balance? Something's been unbalanced. You know what I'm trying to say, Taurus. So let's see what's coming in. What energies could be challenging this? What could be challenging energies around restoring this balance in love and commitments? So let's see. We've got Cup Prince, Pisces Chariot, Sword Princess, Air Palace, and Wand 10, Sun, Sagittarius. Okay, this is kind of when knowing how to end an energy and finding the solution. So sometimes it's like, I'm wanting to bring up, I'm wanting to end, I'm done with a certain energy, whether it's like, doesn't have to be the whole aspect of a relationship or doesn't have to be, it can be, but it's like I'm done with that. And so how do I bring that up? How do I step into something new cycles where I'm feeling differently? How do I do that? And working on some fresh ideas around that. That's potentially going to be the challenge. But if you can overcome and rise to that challenge, that's where you are getting the blessings of that. So you are finding these fresh new feelings, this enthusiasm, nervous excitement bubbling over, new ideas are coming in, new motivation and new energy that comes through. So that's the flip side of it, the positive, when overcome the challenge. So let's see what is supporting and making it easier to bring and restore this balance with how you're feeling with love and commitment and relationships. So let's see what is coming in to help make it easier or help support this. Let's see. Interesting. Cup 8, Neptune, Pisces. Pisces just got the same card, actually. This is kind of an interesting one because normally it strangely would feel like it would be the opposite, like energy, like this is walking away from something that's no longer fulfilling you. So it's kind of a sense that how you're feeling is going to become within a situation is going to become so obvious that it's easier to walk away. So, or easy to just detach and emotionally detach. Now, this doesn't mean you're kind of walking away, leaving a relationship. It can mean that, but it doesn't necessarily mean that. It just means there might be an aspect of how you are in relationships that you're walking away from, or emotionally detaching from, saying that is just not fulfilling me within this relationship or within my relationship status, whatever that might be. So, yeah, I think that this feeling is actually really going to help you restore the balance, strangely enough. So Neptune is sometimes when everything kind of merges into one big murky mess and it's not clear. There's a lack of boundaries and but there's also a really nice energy of oneness that comes through with this, with the Neptune Pisces. So it's almost like you're helping remove a lack of clarity where things have been kind of confusing or murky, but in doing so, it promotes this idea of feeling oneness with you and somebody else, or oneness with you in the world, because if you're kind of finding this oneness within yourself, this peace within yourself, and then you can feel more connected to other things in your life. So, yeah, it sort of seems like a paradox. But that's what this temperance energy is. It's two elements that seemingly don't flow are flowing into each other. So that's kind of where something that just didn't seem like it was going to work in your life, you now can start working with elements that, they're showing me oil and water. It kind of feels like the oil and water don't mix, but this is quite literally where you are working with oil and water, like two things that don't go together, and you found the solution that's come in here about how to do it. Maybe you just have to kind of give them different functions, put them in different containers, separate them in some way, but so that they're both feeling useful and valued in their own way. So yeah, it's intriguing. We have Lease of the Shadows coming through. So Lease of the Shadows is where your spirit is rising up out of the darkness. So I do feel like there's a lot that you're working with here, that you're restoring this sense of this sense of being able to kind of rise up from something that held a power over you in that shadow energy, that was something that was deeply out of balance, that you're, being able to rise up above, and this sense of freedom and lightness that comes with that. And your spirit is rising, which is really lovely. So, yeah, that's lovely. It's number 44 as well. So this could be the angels coming in to help you with that. Let's look at animal spirit energy. Let's look at the animal spirit energy for Taurus. So there's really healing some of those things that are lurking in the shadows that Venus has gone in quite bravely and said, right, well, since I'm here, I might as well make the most of the situation and do the work. So, and I'm going to release my Taurians because I can see clearly now some of the things that are going on in there. We've got the Cobra. Okay, the other energy you're working with is the Cobra, which is very Mars-like, very Aries-like, is very Ace of Wands energy, about initiating, looking at something, taking action when the time is right. So it's also interesting because the Cobra looks scary, but it actually presents as a spiritual teacher, like something that can keep you on the straight and narrow, keep you on the right track. And it's kind of feels like there's like a spiritual guide around you, helping you, but it's kind of just keeping you on the straight and narrow with something here, the Cobra energy. And yeah, because working with shadow work, it's so much easier to go, I don't want to do that. I want to avoid that. I'd prefer to escape that. I don't want to have to do that. And it's kind of saying this energy, this guide energy is around saying, I'm here to help you do that, but I'm going to kind of keep you on track with working through that energy, because you're going to receive the gifts and the blessings afterwards. So yeah, it's the start of a journey here to restore love, to restore the hope with the choices that you make, around love, to trust your choices that you make around love and commitments, and to restore balance around that, which is really lovely, and to release something that's been there under the surface in the shadows that is ready to rise up. So it's start of a new cycle that can lead you to a lot of fulfillment, which is beautiful. So that's it, Taurus. That's your reading. Thanks so much for joining me. Please like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. Love to read your comments. And if you're interested in any of my services, the link for that is in the description box below. And that's just to do with tarot readings, healings, gift certificates. It's all there. And also, yeah, please take care, Taurus. Look forward to seeing you next time.